Okay, so I have a question for you. When I say the word agent, what's the very first image that pops into your head?
Honestly, I usually think of a guy in a tuxedo holding a martini, or maybe a talent agent yelling into a phone in Hollywood.
Right. James Bond or Ari Gold. That's exactly
Yeah.
where my brain goes to. But we are recording this in 2026, and apparently we need to completely rewrite that dictionary definition
We do.
because agents have taken over two completely different worlds that, strangely enough, are kind of crashing into each other right now.
It's a weird linguistic convergence, isn't it? We've got
Yeah.
agents taking over artificial intelligence, and then you have agents running these incredibly advanced economic simulations.
And the mission for this deep dive is to figure out what happens when you put those two things together. We're looking at a stack of sources today, a brand new overview of Agentic AI from LenderKit, a pretty terrifying review of AI hallucinations from preprints.org, and a guide to risks from ThoughtSpot. But then we're going to mash that all up with this dense, fascinating academic paper by Matt Sketty and his team on agent-based models in banking.
And it sounds like a strange mix, I know. But there is a thread tying this all together. It's all about black boxes.
Okay.
It's about the danger of systems, whether it's a chatbot or a global bank, that look like they're working perfectly on the surface while they're actually, quietly setting everything on fire underneath.
The illusion of safety.
Yeah.
I like that. So let's start with the tech side, because I feel like every week there's a new buzzword in AI. Last year it was generative.
Yeah.
Now the LenderKit source is screaming about agentic AI.
Right.
Is this just marketing fluff, or is there an actual difference?
Oh, it's a massive difference. In fact, it might be the biggest shift since ChatGPT first came out.
Wow.
Think of it this way. Generative AI, the stuff we've been using, is like a librarian.
Okay, I'm with you.
You walk up to the desk, you ask a specific question, and the librarian goes into the stacks, pulls a book, and reads you the answer. Here is a poem about a cat. Here is a summary of that email. It's passive. It waits for you.
Right. It only speaks when spoken to.
Exactly.
Huh.
Now, Agentic AI is not a librarian. It's an executive assistant. And not just any assistant. It's the kind of assistant you give a vague goal to, and they go figure it out.
So instead of asking, what is the stock price of Apple, I'm saying what?
You're saying my goal is to maximize my portfolio yield while keeping enough cash to pay my taxes. You don't tell it how. The agent figures out the how.
It breaks it down.
It breaks that goal down into steps. It checks the tax code. It looks at your bank account. It monitors the stock market. And this is the kicker. It has hands.
Metaphorical hands, I assume.
Digital hands. It can use tools. The LenderKit overview emphasizes this heavily. Agentic systems act through APIs. They can log into your brokerage account. They can fill out forms. They can execute trades.
So they're moving from just talking to doing. Okay, that is a profound shift. We've had Robo-Advisors for years, though. I use when I set it to aggressive growth, and it buys ETFs for me. How is an agent different from that?
So your Robo-Advisor is a flowchart. It's basically if this, then that.
Okay.
If the market drops 5%, buy bonds. It's rigid. An agent is reasoning. It's looking at context. The example in the source that really struck me was about debt management.
Oh, yeah, the operating layer concept.
Oh, right. An agentic system could technically be monitoring mortgage rates in real time. It sees a drop, realizes that refinancing your house fits your goal of maximizing cash flow, and then it actually logs into the bank portal, uploads your documents, and initiates the refinance.
Without me clicking a single button.
Theoretically, yes. Or maybe it just asks for your thumbprint at the very end. It becomes the operating layer for your financial life.
Which sounds incredibly efficient. I mean, nobody likes filling out refinance paperwork.
Yeah.
And it's a big but. I'm handing the keys to my house and my bank account to a piece of software.
Yeah.
And according to this preprints.org report, that software is a pathological liar.
Liar implies it wants to deceive you. It's actually worse than that. It's hallucinating.
We hear that term a lot, hallucination. But I think most people think it just means the AI gets confused about a trivia fact.
It's deeper than confusion. You have to remember how these models work. They don't know anything. They don't have a concept of truth. They are prediction machines.
Okay.
They are just guessing the next most probable word in a sentence.
So it's playing a very, very sophisticated game of fill in the blank.
Exactly. And usually the most probable word is the correct one. But when it's not, the AI doesn't stop and say, I don't know. It just confidently guesses the next word to keep the flow going.
And the stats in this report are, well, They made me sweat a little.
They are sobering.
We're not talking about a 1% error rate here. I mean, for speech recognition, sure, it's low, like 1.4%. But they looked at high-stakes fields. Legal AI.
Up to 16.7%.
That is wild. Imagine hiring a lawyer, paying them a retainer, and knowing that 1 out of every 6 things they tell you is a total fabrication.
You can definitely sue for that. I found a precedent from 1894, except precedent doesn't exist.
And for the listeners who are thinking about using these agents for finance, the earnings forecasting stat was even worse.
27%.
Nearly 1 in 3.
If you ask an AI to predict earnings beyond 2 quarters, it hallucinates 27% of the time. Now, combine that with our executive assistant concept.
Right.
You have an agentic AI managing your portfolio. It predicts a massive earnings beat for company X. It's wrong. But because it's an agent, it doesn't just tell you to buy, it buys.
It bets the farm based on hallucination.
And here is the black box problem that ThoughtSpot highlights. It does this with total confidence. 83% of executives admitted they can't tell the difference between AI confidence and AI accuracy.
Wow.
The bot doesn't sound unsure. It sounds like an expert.
Because it's fluent. It talks like a chartered financial analyst.
Precisely. So you have a system that acts autonomously based on probabilistic guessing, masked by extreme confidence. That is a dangerous cocktail.
So are we just supposed to not use them? Because the efficiency gains are massive. The sources did mention solutions. Grounding was the big term.
Right. We have to stop the AI from improvising. And the main technique they talk about is RGA retrieval augmented generation.
Which sounds like a punk rock band, but explain what it actually does.
It's basically an open book test. Without RAG, the AI is taking a test from memory, and its memory is just a soup of everything it's ever read on the internet. With RGA, you force the AI to look up the answer in a specific verified database before it speaks.
So if I ask about my bank balance, it's not guessing based on patterns, it's actually querying the bank's database.
Correct. And the stats show this reduces hallucinations by roughly 40 to 60%. It's a huge improvement. But the lender kit source makes a really important point. Technology isn't enough. You need the human in the loop.
Treat the AI like a junior intern.
Yes. You don't give the new intern the password to the Swift wire system on their first day. You let them draft the proposal, but you sign it.
Yeah.
You build guardrails.
Okay, so that's the agent in the software world. Powerful, autonomous, but prone to these confident delusions. Now, I want to pivot.
Okay.
Because when I read the second half of our research stack, this paper on agent-based economics, I started seeing the exact same pattern. But instead of software hallucinating, it's the banking system.
It is uncanny how similar the dynamics are. So in economics, we also use agents. But here, we aren't talking about ChatGPT. We are talking about computer simulations of people.
Like a massive, sophisticated game of SimCities.
In a way, yes. The paper by Mazzuchetti and his team uses a model called EURIS. It simulates the European economy. But here's the key difference from how we usually talk about the economy.
Okay.
Usually, we look at top-down numbers. GDP, inflation, unemployment.
The big headlines.
Right. But those are averages. They hide the messiness. EURIS is bottom-up. It simulates thousands of individual households, individual firms, individual banks. They all interact, they buy, sell, lend. And the researchers wanted to use this playground to test a specific danger: securitization.
Okay, we need to unpack securitization. It's one of those words that makes people's eyes glaze over, but it's literally what blew up the world in 2008.
It is. And the concept is actually simple. Imagine you are a bank. You give me a mortgage for my house, you give me $500,000. Now you're out that cash, and you have to wait 30 years for me to pay it back. That's slow.
Boring banking.
Very boring.
Yeah.
But what if you could take my mortgage, bundle it with 1,000 other mortgages, turn that bundle into a fancy piece of paper called a security, and sell it to an investor?
Then I, as the bank, get my cash back right now.
Boom! You have cash. And crucially, you don't have the risk of me defaulting anymore. You sold that risk to the investor.
So I can take that cash and just lend it to someone else. And then sell that loan, too. It's a money machine.
It's an efficiency engine, just like the AI agent. It speeds everything up, liquidity flows, the economy grows. In the simulation, when they cranked up the securitization propensity, everybody got richer at first.
More loans, more consumption.
Yep, but there's the catch.
There's always a catch.
The paper identifies something called the volatility paradox.
Which is?
The idea that by suppressing volatility in the short term, by making everything look smooth and safe, you are actually building up massive pressure for a catastrophic explosion later.
It's like cleaning your room by shoving everything under the bed. The room looks spotless, you feel great, but eventually you run out of space under the bed.
That is the perfect analogy. And in banking, the space under the bed is the off-balance sheet. You see, banks have rules. The capital adequacy ratio, or CRR, they have to keep a safety buffer of cash based on how risky their loans are.
But if I sell the loans,
They are gone. Your balance sheet is clean. You have no risk on the books. So the regulators look at your capital adequacy ratio and say, wow, what a safe, responsible bank. You don't need to hold much cash in reserve.
so I have minimum safety buffers because I look safe. But the risk hasn't actually vanished. It's sitting with the investors.
It's sitting with the mutual funds and pension funds who bought those securities. And in the simulation, eventually, the unvirtuous cycle kicks in.
The unvirtuous cycle sounds ominous.
It is. In the model, defaults start to tick up, just a little. But the mutual funds, the ones holding all the risk, suddenly run out of liquidity. They panic. They stop buying new bundle.
And the music stops.
Instantly. The banks are suddenly stuck with all these new loans they intended to sell but can't. But remember, they have no safety buffer because they look so safe on paper.
So they implode.
They implode, bankruptcies cascade, and because the banks are critical to the system, the government in the simulation steps in. Bailouts, tax hikes, deficits. The whole 2008 nightmare replayed in a supercomputer.
But here's the thing that connects this back to the AI story for me. The paper says that leading up to the crash, the standard warning lights, they never blinked.
Not once. Mortgage to GDP. Fine. Capital adequacy ratio. Excellent.
So the dashboard was green.
The dashboard was bright green. The traditional metrics were hallucinating stability. They were looking at the surface, the on-balance sheet, and ignoring the reality hiding underneath.
Just like an executive trusting an AI because it sounds confident even though it's making up facts.
Exactly. Both systems, the AI agent and the banking agent, create a black box where the complexity hides the risk. And if you trust the surface output, you are flying blind.
So the researchers proposed a solution, a way to see under the bed.
They call it the VUC indicator, the virtuous-unvirtuous cycle indicator.
Catchy.
It's a mouthful, but the math is smart. It forces you to look at the off-balance sheet activity. It measures the ratio of securitized credit to the bank's actual equity.
So it's asking how much junk did you sweep under the rug compared to how big the room is.
Basically. And when they ran the simulation again with this indicator, it worked. The VUC indicator started flashing red long before the crash. It predicted the bankruptcies because it was looking at the structural risk, not the surface compliance.
Okay, so let's zoom out and synthesize this, because we have two heavy concepts here. We have AI agents that can automate our work but might lie to us.
Right.
And we have financial agents that can automate the economy but might hide risk.
And in both cases, the efficiency is seductive. It feels good to have an AI answer your email instantly. It feels good for a bank to offload risk and lend more money.
But that feeling of ease is the danger zone.
It is. The lesson from both of these deep dives is that in a complex system, confidence and clean reports are not enough. You need visibility.
In AI, that visibility is RAG, show me the source. Don't just tell me to sell the stock. Show me the earnings report you read.
And in finance, it's the VUC indicator, show me the off-balance sheet. Don't just tell me you're capitalized, show me what you sold.
Now, I want to leave you with a thought that has been nagging at me since I put these two sources next to each other on my desk.
I think I know where you're going.
We talked about agentic AI becoming the operating layer of finance. We talked about how it optimizes for goals.
Yes.
Imagine a near future, maybe 3 or 4 years from now. You have an agentic AI managing a bank's portfolio. Its goal is maximize capital efficiency.
Okay.
It reads the rulebook. It learns that securitization makes the balance sheet look better and allows for more lending. It learns that pattern.
It optimizes for the metric.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't an autonomous AI exploit that loophole harder and faster than any human could?
That is a terrifyingly plausible scenario. A human banker might have fear. A human might remember 2008 and hesitate. But an AI, if the objective function says securitize to increase yield, and the standard risk metrics like CRR say it's safe, the AI will hit the gas.
It would automate the unvirtuous cycle.
It could hyper-accelerate it. You could have a financial crisis generated at machine speed, all while the AI reports 99.9% confidence that everything is optimal.
Because it's hallucinating stability based on flawed data.
This is why the human in the loop isn't just corporate speak. It is a survival mechanism. If we are going to build these powerful agents, whether digital or financial, we cannot just set them and forget them.
We have to be the ones who check under the bed.
We have to verify the grounding. We have to audit the logic. We have to look for the lie.
So, to everyone listening, the agents are coming, they're going to be helpful, they're going to be fast, but do not let their confidence lull you to sleep. Whether it's a chatbot giving legal advice or a bank report showing record profits.
Dig deeper. Ask what's off balance.
Because if it sounds too good to be true,
it's probably a hallucination.
Thanks for diving deep with us today. Keep your eyes open, watch out for the black boxes, and we'll catch you on the next one.